Hey, y'all, it's good to see you. Come on in.
We are going exploring today with a soap from MacDuff's Soap Company.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, y'all, thank you so much for being here. We're so grateful for all of you. And if you happen to be here on a Wednesday or Saturday morning, won't you come in, join the live chat, say hi. There's an awesome group of folks that are hanging out and they'd like to meet you too.
Yeah, they would. So we wanted to let you know that we have some Instagram lives coming up this month to celebrate our 1-year anniversary going on for the month of July.
We're going to be talking to Moon Soaps. We're going to be doing a live with Sean from MacDuff's. We're going to be doing Craig with Opus Brush and a visit to the Shave Supply in Oxnard, California, where they not only have an awesome distribution center of all of our shaving gear, but they've got a working barbershop in front. So we can't wait to talk to them. It's going to be a fun month. And what is our soap today?
Our soap today is taking us off to something that's a little hard for me to say, but hopefully I can say it. Kananaskis Explorer? I think is it. I
can buy that. I have no idea what it's about, but let's find out. Let's meet the soap. All right, y'all. So from the sales page at MacDuffSoapCompany.com, quote, "Great things are done when men and mountains meet." William Blake.
Wow, I love that. Ooh. Doesn't that make you just want to run into the mountains now?
Being from a part of the country where we have a lot of mountains, too. Yes, I love this. We're from John Muir territory around here.
Like taking a deep breath of fresh forest air in Kananaskis country, a provincial park in the Alberta Rockies. Inspired by one of my favorite outdoor hotspots, Kananaskis Provincial Park. Not as famous or commercially developed as the nearby Banff. I have heard of that one, National Park. But Kananaskis offers outdoor enthusiasts a rustic atmosphere with world-class hiking, snowshoeing, and backcountry camping. That's a lot of things.
Snowshoeing.
That's where they have like the thing where it looks like a tennis racket on you,
right?
But I don't know.
Like, that's something you do, though. I thought it was just so you didn't die.
No,
snowshoeing.
Like you walk far across.
Snowshoeing. So I'm not just excited to go on an outdoor adventure with Sean and MacDuff. I want to see if there also might be tiny little notes of a gourmand hiding just beneath the surface, like sometimes happens with some of my favorites. But there's one way to find out. Let's open the box.
So this box has been sitting on the piano for quite a while. So much so that we missed and we could have waited and got the new cool label with MacDuff on it.
This is going to be the last version label, but y'all, you get the idea. The new one has MacDuff himself on it.
If you want it and you get it now, you'll get the dude on it.
A little bit cuter with the dog on it. Here we go.
It's our last one waiting in here. It's been waiting.
The side label is beautiful. And there it is. How do you say that word?
I'm guessing, but this is what I've been going with. Kananaskis. Like, I don't know.
Kananaskis.
That's where the letters
better
are.
than anything I would have come up with. That's one of my favorite
labels. But look at that picture. Wouldn't you just want to go there?
Oh, I love lakes and mountains together. We're from Tahoe territory here, too, folks.
But doesn't that look gorgeous?
This might speak right to my soul.
It really
okay,
might.
I think I want to have this first impression.
I'm actually really excited to get your nose on this because I feel like Sean takes the outdoors and puts them in front of our noses in a way that I don't think any other artisan has yet so far. Like there's something very real the way he paints with colors.
When I smell the MacDuff soaps, y'all, I can even tell you what time of day it is in this container. It's usually different than it is here. I can tell. I can either get the cool breeze of the morning or I can get the humidity of the sunset as it pulls the last of the moisture out of the earth. Y'all, somehow it's all here.
It feels like we've been to Canada just through Sean's nose, you know?
It might even be a little bit of an aquatic with a lake on the label. I mean, who knows?
Who knows? We really tried not to read the end notes. We're going in blind.
I don't know. I don't know anything about these end notes.
No.
She kind of kept it from me.
And we got this a very long time ago, so even if we had read them, we do not remember.
It was on sale. Okay, here we go. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
We're pausing.
All right. Fans of MacDuff's, let's have a grown-up conversation. I know where this is.
Oh.
I know exactly. Well, hold on. I should say this. I know where I'm waking up.
Okay.
I'm waking up in Autumn Cabin.
Oh.
Yo, and I am being surrounded by those gorgeous cedars that are just hinting at a maple accord. And then I push the door open and I go outside. So if you are a fan of the Cabin series, Winter Cabin, Christmas Cabin, Autumn Cabin is one of the most coveted in the shaving worlds because of how Sean had to build that maple accord. Well, y'all, I bring you glad tidings of great joy. When you're exploring, I think you wake up in that Autumn Cabin and then you go outside and you explore a whole new world. So I think he started there and he put a whole new world of stuff into this. Okay, hold on a second.
Okay. So there's not necessarily snow on the ground yet. It's more of that.
No, I get a summer lake vibe to this, y'all. I don't get that cool factor. I get that this is like the heat of the afternoon and that there's trees surrounding a little bit of a, just like it says here, like a little bit of a lake. There are evergreens, there's firs, but I do get a little bit of a sense of a waterness to this, a little bit of a humid factor.
But you know that it's not snow water. It's definitely like lake.
Oh, and it is the parts of the trees that for me only really come out in summer. There are things about trees that are definitely seasonal, y'all. They do tend to close. They do tend to open in their way. And in the heat of the summer, this is what a California forest smells like, including a little bit of that like bank of a river or bank of the lake.
I was just going to ask if you're in like a forest where there's like a dirt floor or if there's more of like a moist kind of vibe going on.
And I love that you start for me an Autumn Cabin because it's just such a beautiful scent to start with. And it kind of gives me a sense of home. Yes, I am out in this forest. I am out in this wilderness, but there are 4 walls and a roof and a fireplace where you are going to be comfy, cozy at night.
Interesting.
Y'all, what a beautiful soap this is. All right, let's see if you get the same sense that I did.
I'm curious.
Starts you in the Autumn Cabin.
So maybe a little gourmandy like you were guessing.
Oh.
Or is it different?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I actually caught there. I mean, there might be under the surface, but my nose didn't actually find it yet.
Okay.
But there's more to discover. All right, take it in. See what you get.
Let's see. Oh, interesting.
Autumn Cabin?
At the very faintly, if you hadn't said it, I don't know if I would have gotten it.
Yeah.
But I can see why your brain is putting it in that category.
Right. So it's not a recreation of Autumn Cabin. No. He didn't start with that cabin. But I think in this wilderness, you'll wake up in an Autumn Cabin.
I'm almost getting like a clay rock
kind
of vibe.
Clay rock.
You know, like when you can see it, I don't know, it's just a different color. It's not a normal like dirt. It has a different kind of vibe going on.
Yeah.
And the warm is coming, but it's not completely hot yet. I would agree with you on that. And there's something like, I do get the pine, the trees, everything, but there's a little bit of a breeze that's making everything kind of blend together.
Right.
So I'm not just standing in a forest of trees.
Right.
It's not just that, and I'm not just near the clay. I do get a little bit more, I don't know if it's aquatic, but there's something in the breeze that's making this a new place to be.
Do you sense there might be a river or a lake nearby?
I think only to add like a cool undertone.
Right.
Because I do feel the sun coming.
Right.
But there's something like, because we live close to the ocean here, like there's something about that breeze off the bay that's cooling.
Right.
So I kind of get that. It's not necessarily aquatic, but I do get that there is some sort of water nearby that's cooling us off a little bit.
Now, is there an exploring factor to it? Is there a part of it that makes you want to grab those walkie-walkie sticks and head out for a hike?
I think that's why I was getting more that clay vibe.
Right.
Like there's something that's kind of intriguing enough that it feels like you can just go exploring.
Right.
And you're actually on like solid ground still, if that makes sense.
Yes, I love it. And y'all, if you are headed out for a walk like we are in about half an hour, you could put on Aqua Velva and have a lovely nostalgic 1950s barbershop walk. Or you can put on something like this, y'all. This is just going to accentuate the natural sense around you of the grasses and trees.
I really feel like we're almost in like a cavern or something.
Oh.
Like that's why it's not as hot yet. Like we're in the shade of the mountains. Like think of when you were at Yosemite.
Yeah.
Like you're just like deep in.
Right.
And it really has a different smell, if that makes sense. Like you're kind of concaved in that little thing.
Right. Y'all, Yosemite Valley is an enigma. It's funny, but there is only one way in and out of it from the bottom. Otherwise, you've got to climb over these enormous mountains to descend into the valley. But nature only provided one lane in and out of Yosemite. It's a bridge that has a light on each end, and only one lane of cars can even fit into Yosemite Valley at a time. Is that the most bizarre thing you've ever heard in your life? So anything that they've built in Yosemite Valley has to be able to be brought there on a one-lane road. Like,
even that little church that we found. Like all of
Right.
that stuff, everything must have had to come across that.
So it's so funny to be in this place where it is just as big and expansive as God himself. And knowing that there's only one tiny way in and out, it makes you feel sort of hugged. It gives you this like natural sense of security that you are being guarded by all of these incredibly tall, incredibly foreboding rock walls. But there is something about that valley that gives you this sense of safety. And this is
right. Like it's more like it's
creating
behind me. So I think that's why you got the image of walking out of a cabin. Like there is like a wall of rocks or mountains or something behind me. But then when it opens out, you get that smell of like everything around. But that dampness that you get only because of shade, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that, I don't know if dampness is the right word, but it's a different smell of like being in the shade versus walking into the sun.
Yep. And this is a little bit more of a forest than Yosemite Valley. I would think Yosemite Valley would have a little bit more of the grasses and woods and things like that.
Yeah.
This is more of the trees and the lake kind of thing. So probably a little more Canadian, but we can forgive that.
Right.
We've
never
where the
been
cold air
there.
comes
We're
from.
guessing.
Yeah. Y'all, what a beautiful thing. And you know what? Let's take a look at these actual scent notes. All right, y'all. So back to the sales page at MacDuffSoapCompany.com.
This is the part I skipped earlier because I didn't want to ruin anything. But scented with various evergreens with added sweetness from tree resin and patchouli for a vanilla-esque afternote.
Now, y'all, Sean and MacDuff get credit for fixing patchouli for me entirely with a soap called Bad Santa. In fact, DJ's wife, Heather, doesn't even get a sense of patchouli in it. It's like so beautifully balanced. Like for me, it's like patchouli. But people don't even sense it in there because it's such a beautiful balance. How would you do that with patchouli? He does. So, y'all.
But he's using it here as a vanilla-esque afternote.
It's the same. He's done the same thing with patchouli in here. I totally get it. And it's being used to create that feeling of having the ground under me, right?
Yeah.
Of having those spices and that beautiful, rich earthiness sort of under me and then mixing it with a vanilla-esque afternote.
Because I didn't get patchouli at all in there. I got something on a gentle sweet. So it wasn't like an in-your-face gourmandy like we were looking for.
Right.
But that's why. Because it's so snuck in there, you wouldn't have even known.
Y'all, you know, my brain just showed me. I was watching a video yesterday about a commercial that took the song Hey Jude and auto-tuned Paul McCartney. I mean, just in an effort to make it sound perfect. But when you listen to it, it sounds terrible, right? Because it's not
his voice.
Real, right? Things that are real have a little bit of freedom. Things that are real have like a looseness to them. And the thing is, generally, when I smell like an evergreen scent from like an air freshener or something, when I smell like a patchouli scent from like an oil that you'd get at the store, it's kind of that one note. It's been auto-tuned. It's like,
that's a good way to put it.
You know, it's what everybody thinks evergreen should smell like. It's what everybody thinks patchouli needs to smell like. But this, Sean gives these a freedom. And the cool thing is, when Paul McCartney would get a little bit sharp, it's because the instruments themselves were getting a little bit flat. Michael Jackson would do the same thing. So it's a way of balancing out the entire song by letting your voice drift a little bit above the pitch. It brings the entire song into balance.
Impressive.
That, with the evergreen and the patchouli and those other notes that are in this, having their own natural little bends and slants to them, the way they click together is like music and is like bringing out those other senses that you wouldn't get normally. This has a freedom to it.
Okay, so I'm going to give in and look at the actual full list.
Yes, please.
Past that description.
Here we go, from the beginning.
So, balsam pine.
We got to do a little bit of a deep dive into this idea of balsam because this is the third time we've seen it in a few weeks.
And it's different. It's a different pine.
Magic, y'all. It's not like the needles. It's something different. Anyway.
And then, juniper berries. So that's that other natural, like kind of sort of sweet, but raw still.
We had a juniper tree in the backyard. So for some reason, I was not a fan of juniper because it was loaded with spiders and a lot of black widows. And I think my brain just kind of made a connection.
Run away!
But with certain soaps, much like patchouli, I get now why juniper is so important because it gives a wintry, bracing edge that nothing else in the natural fragrance world does. And I so appreciate it.
Smell for the juniper berry now. It's so in there.
But it's not there unless I look for it.
Right.
But it's like what's keeping it so clean and beautiful.
It does. And it makes the actual tree side, I feel like more of an actual, something sweeter to balance those out.
Right.
It's in there. You need it.
And then here's what I love. He doesn't just put spruce. He puts blue. spruce,
Now
right?
I want to go look up which tree that is and try and get my nose on what that one smells like, because now I want to know the difference.
It's blue, like midnight blue, right? That's
Right?
kind of what my brain is sensing.
And then
Fir needle! Marcus was right!
straight up fir
I was
needle.
right. And then,
Tree resin, which I didn't even realize we needed.
the dried sap.
And you said it kind of has a honeyish kind of a something.
Maybe. That's the
Maple-ish,
sap that makes it
you
go
know?
pop in the fireplace. That's what I get
Yeah.
the sense of in this. So beautiful. And then finally, my old friend from Bad Santa, patchouli.
And it's there, but I don't get it till the end. And I get the whole vanilla-esque vibe because I wouldn't know it's patchouli, honestly. I mean, maybe when we lather, we might get a little more of that, but
I think it might be the same patchouli that was in Bad Santa.
I don't think you're wrong.
That's just
because it's
my
not a patchouli
hypothesis.
we've ever had before, and there's something in it that's that real side. Maybe that is the vanilla-esque thing.
Oh, it's a soft soup. I love this. This is my beautiful new KUN bowl, y'all. This is the copper ore color. I kind of got it
matches
to be
the
a little
colors, you know?
homage to Nevada County, and it's red dirt and it's gold mines. And this is my Opus brush that is inspired by the Mystery Machine of
Hey!
Scooby-Doo. So jinkies, y'all. Thank you, Craig. I love this brush.
But even look at the label. How did you know it had the blue and the copper in this picture too?
Oh.
Like it totally matches.
Hey, y'all, look at that.
Not even on
They're
purpose.
perfect friends. And
Yay.
this is our new bougie spare, y'all. It's a gift from Sean and Julie Smallgers. Thanks, y'all.
From the
You
shoe
saved
supply,
us.
and it
Right.
immediately just goes kabam.
All right, here we go.
All right, and the magic in this
Oh,
bowl.
we've already got powder here, y'all. Look at this. Oh, this is
Smelling
hitting
it?
me beautiful.
I knew we needed to
y'all.
lather. I just
Oh,
figured that
love
next
this.
tier would come out.
Yogurt in my bones. Beautiful. Look at the
If you
iridescence.
sing to your lather, it
Yeah,
really
if you don't
wakes up
sing to your
differently.
lather, it's kind of like your plants, right? You,
You gotta talk to it. You gotta be nice to it.
If you really love it, let it go. If it's meant to be, it will come back to you.
Yeah, this just has an undeniable MacDuff vibe to it,
Right.
but I'm thoroughly glad that's what it is, because that's what we were hoping when we put, when you click purchase on a MacDuff, it has that different vibe, like every artisan has their little thing, and there's just something in this that feels like I really just went to Canada right now, like taking a whiff of this.
I love Sean's fingerprint because it is. It's a little bit sweet. It's a little bit natural. It's a tiny bit gourmand, and it's a lot adventurous.
And he's a musician too, like, how
Right.
you hear music and having that vibe, it's gotta be part of this too,
Y'all.
Yeah?
Okay, y'all, this is the fir needle whiff. You will only find this here in the Barbershop Duet. On 3, 1, 2. Hey,
Interesting.
that is almost identical for
Yeah.
me in the soap and the lather. That doesn't happen very often.
A little of the sweetness is,
Right.
goes away here.
All
it just
of the
makes it a little more real.
intensity is here in the lather that's in the soap. Because usually that's kind of the concentrate, and then here it spreads out a little bit, right? Yeah.
There's more of like a breeze in the air. I don't know how that's
Right.
possible, but
Oh, it's
from here.
beautiful.
So do you think it's time to put that lather on our face and see what whiffs we get there?
Yeah, y'all, we don't do shaving on the Barbershop Duet, but we did realize that when we watch our shaving videos, we love to see how the lather covers the faces. So, y'all, I give you Sarah Vincent and the MacDuff's face lather. Here we go. Oh,
Wow, that's the
when
thing.
you can see the trail that each bristle leaves in the soap.
And you do get a little more of that whiff action going on, I gotta say.
And those of you fans of Hoffman's Grooming, you know that Rob very often likes to just give a little dollop there. Just
And you
to
can get it in our
let it
nose
settle.
hairs a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah. Okay, ready? Look at this.
Lather in action.
I give you 3 coats. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
Wow. Oh, and it just feels so good on your face.
it does. It has that just like gentle little kiss to your skin.
Oh, okay, what whiffs are you getting?
I still feel like I'm getting more, like, I was trying to figure out what season this is, because it's not winter, and I don't think it's summer, but I can't tell if it's like a spring or a fall, like, there's just something in the breeze that makes me feel like it's one of those, like,
I think you were catching on to something important here because y'all, to smell an evergreen at Christmas, well, come on. And then in the summertime, yeah, in the autumn, it's almost a prerequisite. But y'all, an evergreen forest in the spring?
right?
Yeah, because that's when we used to go camping was as soon as the cold wore off, right?
Yep.
So this is the evergreen that I know and love.
Yeah,
You hit that
I'm
on the
with ya.
head. This is a spring, and you can kind of feel the new birth of the needles coming out. These are not old needles. This is like it says, the
It
resin,
said.
the sap of new growth, of new needles, of new rings on the tree. You nailed that.
I
This
know,
is
but
the
that's the
scent
smell.
of a springtime evergreen forest. I love that. And you know what? Just so we can get some of this off our faces, why don't we take this a little deeper? All right, y'all. So we're going to do something a little bit different here on the Barbershop Duet. We never compare artisans because, we're not that. But apples to apples, Yeah, so y'all, these might both be on your radar if you love MacDuff's and you love an evergreen scent, because we just shot the Northman. But y'all, we had an idea. Let's put these A-B and smell them right next to each other. They are so different.
Very
what
different.
do you get?
So next to this one, the masculine side of this, the deeper dampness, like that oody leather side is really prominent here.
Yes, this is the dude who, when he tells you how to build your emergency shelter out in the snow, you're going to listen to him, because
Survival
this has
mode.
that authority. Right. This is the dude that lives on the edge of adventure
That
all
raw
the time, right?
man.
This is a little bit more like going on a walk with Marcus in the evergreen forest around Lake Tahoe.
Wearing our
right?
flannel
So, yeah, a
shirts,
little bit more
you know.
friendly, a little sweeter, a very different kind of evergreen.
We're not
the
running-
leather or the oud in this, you know? Oh, but both, I think, cousins, bookends of each other,
You're
because they do
still
have
outdoors,
that, right, that
you
lovely
know.
balsam pineness
But
to it, but so
this one you're kind of
different.
running for your life a little bit, living on the edge.
Right.
This one you're taking your time. You had your coffee. You're enjoying. Like, it's a different camping time.
Yeah.
Like, this is,
This
very
you might
different.
be being chased and you love it.
Yeah.
This one you're going to do the chase. You're bird watching.
Yeah, you're enjoying the scenery. It's a very different vibe.
Absolutely. And this does have something in the patchouli.
Yeah.
It does keep it sort of grounded and bassy, but it does it in more of a natural way. This does it in more of taking some natural things that wouldn't be in the forest, like leather, or and putting them in the forest, so you do get that Viking sense.
Yes.
This is more, again, like you're waking up in your favorite old autumn cabin, right? And you're going to check your phone, because you might even have Wi-Fi signal. That's this.
You're
This is
planning
more
out
of
your
your
day.
rustic, like, holy crap, you better not drop anything kind of adventure.
Right.
Oh, love it.
But they both have their purpose in our den. I have to say, I'm
100%.
glad we have both of them, because they are just close enough to take you somewhere, but they are just different in a whole new way that you're on a totally different adventure.
This is like the candied needles of the tree, right? And this is more of that real sort of dry version.
Right.
Whoa, these are so different. Like, I really thought these would be like 20% the same. But these are 80% different.
Yes.
85.
Yes. The only parts that are similar is the fir needle outdoor, but then what types of needles they are even feel different.
And I'm so glad we have both of them.
Yeah.
Because one of them is going to be that friendly vibe, and one of them is going to be that bracing, adventurous vibe,
that,
where
like,
you might even
raw
have a team of dogs that are pulling your sled.
Yeah, you'd be watching a very different movie to see this compared to this one.
Oh, no, that's a really good point. Okay, so what's our movie for this one? I think The Great Outdoors with John
go.
Candy and Dan Aykroyd, right? And then where are we heading with this one?
This is
Thor.
Yeah,
this is a little
for
bit more
sure.
like, woo, you know what I mean?
that rugged, raw, outdoorsy.
What about Bob? This is more like, what about Bob? You're going to go up to Lake Winnipesaukee, right? That kind of a thing.
I don't know if there's a new movie that this works better with, but my brain keeps going like 300, but in the woods,
Oh, if 300 were in the Arctic. That'd be perfect sense to me, y'all. That kind of thing. So it's pretty simple. Y'all just take your family up to the cabin where you used to have your summer vacations every year. You're going to tell them about this giant bear that used to wander around outside. You're going to take them fishing out on the lake. But you know what? If you're going to fall asleep, make sure you know where all the leeches are. You're going to get your own. So head over to MacDuff'sSoapCompany.com to find this and a bunch of other cool stuff. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, with Kananaskis Explorer, and in the last analysis, having spent a couple more weeks with this, it's autumn cabin with some evergreen, and then you go outside and start your adventure in the Canadian wilderness. Y'all, this is awesome. And the lather, this MacDuff's, after 300, I think I'm getting to another level where I can start appreciating these for their individual characteristics. This has a density to it, a solidity to the lather. And I don't know how better to explain that. Maybe the bubbles are a little bit smaller. It just has a little bit more solid of a feel to it when it goes into your face. Yeah. Sean, thank you for this. MacDuff, good boy.
Welcome to Messages.
Hey, y'all. So we decided we were going to share a little bit of the love for Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements this month and give away a $20 e-gift card. Yay! All you have to do to be eligible is send an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com. That is the only way we do our giveaways is through email. And be a subscriber here on YouTube. Check back on August 3rd when we are going to draw our lucky winner on the show.
Best of luck.
And at the end of the day, you just get to go back to your autumn cabin, pull those covers up to your chin, and have the best night's sleep of your life.
Yeah, can you imagine falling to sleep smelling like this?
I just might tonight. I just might tonight.
Yeah,
I think this
you
is going to
gotta
be my
shave.
shave. I think we're up to this.
Oh, you lucky guy.
Oh.
That sounds like this just smells like a happy adventure.
Right.
Like, you know, when you load the car up and it's all the hassle to get everything in there, and then when you get there, you're like, man, that was worth it. That's what this is.
Where
It was
John
worth
Candy
it.
meets Leif Erikson. That's what MacDuff's going to be giving us tonight. I think I should use one and you can use the
Yeah,
other.
there we go.
There you go. We'll get all kinds of pine forest in our bedrooms tonight.
Don't forget the next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.